Nom nom nom. Wow, 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 wow.
What's going on, Humble Fams? Today's video, we wanted to touch on a very serious matter. I know all of our videos are always joyful and fun, but this is super important to us since we have a baby boy. And it's honestly like the first in a very long time that we've been going through something like this.
Yeah, so first time parents, it's a little difficult to handle, but you know, there's a lot of different ways you can take precaution to be safe, and what we know, we just want to let you guys know so everyone can be as safe as possible.
Yes, but on the bright side, our baby is still very little, so we are not going anywhere. We're staying home, which is a very good thing for us. Once he gets older, we do want to take him out more safely, of course.
We have a lot of family and friends that's always asking us to come around for events, holidays, parties, or just, you know, just get together so they can see Sage and just hang out with us. And it sucks that we always have to say no, because it's nothing against them, it's just for the safety of our son. With everything that's going on, you just never know what can possibly happen.
And also, it's holidays, so Dave absolutely hates being on the road on the holidays because so many accidents happening and you just never know, so we just like to be as safe as possible.
Yeah, when it comes to like everything from groceries, medications, like everything possible, we get delivered to the home, so we don't have to go on the road.
So I think it's like, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I don't know if it's like the first time in a very long time that we are going through a triple-demic, they're calling it, where COVID, the flu, and RSV is happening all at once. So I actually work at a healthcare facility, so almost every single day our patients either have the flu or they are calling about RSV.
Thankfully, she does work from home, so she doesn't have to have any physical interactions with the patients. So that's a little bit more safety she's taken there.
So many of you would know that the first strain was found on December 31st of 2019, and it wasn't actually declared a pandemic until March 11th of 2020.
Yep, somewhere around there.
And then after that, like, everything just changed. We had to quarantine, mask came into effect.
I wonder if it's called COVID-19 because it was like found in 2019. That thought never came to my mind.
Honestly, I think so. I think a lot of people actually came up with that idea.
Unless of me and everyone else is just completely wrong as well.
A lot of people didn't know that it was founded in 2019 until 2020.
Because that's kind of where it went mainstream.
Right, but I've had patients where they will call about the COVID-19 in 2020 and they're like, oh, well, that's probably why I was sick back in November of 2019. And you know, it's something that you actually learn going on. The triple-demic has to do with the COVID-19, the flu, and RSV. You're not hearing much of COVID-19 cases, but you're hearing mostly about the flu cases. And there's actually more patients in the hospital now from the flu than there ever was from COVID-19.
You know, we just hear the flu is like it's a normal thing, but we actually never realized how severe the flu is every single year before the COVID. And especially now after COVID, it's even worse. And it's just like mind-blowing when you hear those numbers and how much people are dying, unfortunately, because of it.
Which is why it's very important to always get your flu vaccine or your COVID-19 boosters. Dave and I did get our COVID-19 boosters and our flu shot together at the same time. COVID, we've been down the road with COVID a lot. That's something that is lingering for us, and unfortunately it has a long-term effect on us. It
affected our life drastically. Like, we never thought we would be in the position where we were, and at one point it was really, really scary for us, for the both of us.
Yeah, but we'll touch on that shortly. I just want to explain to you what RSV is also. RSV affects kids 2 years of age and under, so it's a very crucial thing for babies. It can be very deadly as well. There were so many cases where there were babies in the hospitals, young kids in the hospitals, and almost every single minute of the day I would always read about a baby or a kid passing away because of RSV.
Yeah, I have to tell Shannon, like, you know, it's unfortunate like these things are happening. You can't read these articles just 24/7 because it starts getting to your mental health. and it's just not good for you.
Yeah, I think it was very important for me to read about these articles because I just wanted to educate myself. So RSV stands for respiratory syncytial virus. And RSV also has to do with the cough and runny nose. And the thing about RSV is also wheezing. So if like your baby has trouble breathing and you notice that wheezing, that's how you know that you have RSV. And they also say with RSV, you avoid kissing babies as much as possible. Of course, always wash your hands. I always stress how important washing your hands are. And we try to like wipe down almost every common surfaces with Lysol-based cleaning products as much as we can. And these illnesses can actually stay on surfaces, which is why it's something that can spread very easily and very quickly. So Dave and I actually wanted to touch on our COVID situation, give you guys a little insight about how serious it can be. We are young, we are trying to be healthy, and for the most part, it can affect people in many ways. Some people could have symptoms and some people don't have symptoms. I know basically if you have COVID-19, it always starts with a sore throat first. And when you have that sore throat, then you get a cough. And with COVID-19, you could have difficulty breathing. So that's something that you have to look out for. I'm taking you guys on a little story here. One night we were in bed watching a movie, getting ready to sleep. I started feeling very cold and the house was hot. The room was hot. Dave was in shorts and I had to put on long pants, long shirt, my robe, fluffy socks, and cover up with a blanket.
I think it was January time, right?
January, yep.
We officially had gotten diagnosed on January 5th, was it?
Around there, yes.
Yeah.
And my whole body was just shaking uncontrollably. I was trembling. I was freezing cold. I had the craziest chill.
She's not being dramatic. Like I had, like on her side of the bed, I had her wrapped up in the blanket, and I folded the blanket to make it 2 layers, and I actually got a second blanket out of the closet to cover her up in. She was covered up in her robe and a full outfit, so that's like 5 layers.
And then I was like, babe, I feel like I have a fever. Can you check it? And then my throat started hurting me, so I'm like, what's going on? So the next morning when I woke up, I was like, all right, I clocked into work, and later on my shift, I was like, I'm feeling so fatigued. I don't think I can do this anymore. I was like, let me go to an urgent care and see what's going on, right?
And at that time, we just got hit with like a little snowstorm. So I had to actually go out the house, and I was out there shoveling the car.
I wasn't expecting anything of it. I thought I had like a regular cold because I'm home, and obviously we didn't go anywhere. When I went into the office now and they swabbed me, they tested me for the flu, they tested me for COVID. The physician assistant came in and she was like, you were tested positive for COVID. And I was just so shocked when I went back to the car and I told Dave, I was like, babe, I have COVID. Dave actually didn't get any of the symptoms until like 4 or 5 days later.
That's my ride or die right there. So I'm gonna be with her 24/7 if she needs me.
It's still affecting us up to this very day. We're still going through minor things, but those minor things can really lead to something very serious if it's not taken care of.
And it does take a toll on our everyday activities.
Yeah, not a lot of people understand like what we went through. It affected us at least 3 months very badly.
3 months hard, and then it took us like about another 2 to 3 months to like start transitioning into the recovery stage. So it's like about 6 months in total. It was really exhausting on us mentally and physically because we were very limited to what we can really do. Like just eating and cooking, especially eating. Like every single thing we ate had no flavor whatsoever.
Yeah, we lost our taste and smell.
And then eventually it transitioned.
And we started smelling
and tasting
something disgusting. That's why we couldn't eat. Like any and everything we ate, any and everything we smelled just made us want to throw up.
Yeah. We were sleeping throughout the whole day and we were up the whole night.
But it was so fun, honestly, because we sleep during the day and then we would stay up in the night either playing games, watching movies, just talking, and then we would eventually fall asleep at like what, 5
a.m. Yeah.
5 exactly, every single day, 5 a.m.
Yep.
When Dave was very little, he suffered with asthma a lot, and he was in the hospital for his asthma a lot as a kid. It didn't affect him in like his teenage years and adult years until COVID came into effect.
One of the conditions are if you're asthmatic. As Shannon said, it didn't affect me majority of my life once I started growing up. But once COVID hit me, my lungs took its toll. And immediately I had to start seeing a pulmonary doctor. I had to start going back on inhalers. I took so much medications and a lot of steroids.
Yeah, and I can imagine as a kid what that would be like, because me being a mom now, it's so heartbreaking to me to hear like what he went through. And thankfully for his mom was there for him by his side all the time when Dave was in the hospital. I think she played a big role in that.
She definitely did.
So now that, you know, we're married and I'm the one by his side now, with seeing him going through this, is not a really easy thing to see someone you love go through. COVID did affect our breathing tremendously.
And for Shannon, it became her heart, which originally started through COVID and transitioned into pregnancy.
I couldn't walk from the bedroom to the bathroom. So our bedroom was here. The bathroom was literally right there.
Right across the hall.
I couldn't come out of the bed without my heart rate going to 150. For that reason, I had to see a cardiologist, and my cardiologist did put me on medication up until I was pregnant, because that medication was not good for pregnancy. I just want to talk about my cardiologist really quick, because he's like phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's the most busiest doctor I've ever known in my life.
That office is like
always
packed.
full. always full. I actually introduced Dave to that doctor as well, because he's just the best. I couldn't be more happier with the situation that I've been going through to have a better cardiologist in my life. Seiji just woke up. He wanted to tell you guys that it's very important to wear a mask. Right, BB?
Always wear your mask.
Always wear your mask.
Your mask.
So we actually wanted to like touch on one of our hospital visits. We did go to the hospital a lot, but there was this one time where Dave needed to go to the hospital really badly. And in the Uber, I was having tremendous difficulty breathing, and I told Dave that I wasn't gonna go in because I didn't think I needed to. But it was last minute until we pulled up to the hospital. I was like, okay, I think I need to get checked out too. So we got admitted. They told me that I may have a blood clot and they may have to do a CT scan on me. I waited hours for that CT scan. When they did the CT scan, they didn't find anything. They said that everything looked good. There was no blood clot, thankfully.
So it turned out that Shannon ended up being the one that was actually tachycardic and not me.
So we're just trying to be as safe as possible. We know that this was probably a very long video, and we do apologize, but this matter was very important for us to share to you and let you guys know what's going on.
And on that note, guys,
Stay true.
stay humble.